Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla. So, the Tesla takeover event, renamed to X takeover event in the US, has just ended, and they did get an interview with Elon Musk at the event. Not in person though, but over Starlink internet, of course. But we did get some great insights to the robotaxi and full self-driving, and combined with what we have learned from the earnings call and the test drives we are seeing right now, with full self-driving version 12.5, it really does look like we are seeing a step change in capabilities. And if the data collected by full self-driving is any indication of faster progress, we are heading for a really fast improvement in the time ahead, as mileage on full self-driving tripled in Q2 over Q1. This thing is about to take off. Even some of Wall Street's are waking up now, as Piper Sandler tells investors to buy Tesla stock, as they say Tesla may have solved the self-driving puzzle. So let's check it all out and let's dive right in. So, full self-driving version 12.5 is blowing people's minds. It is of course not 100% perfect and not full self-driving yet, but supervised full self-driving that has become incredibly good. As Holmas wrote on X, I went for a 1-hour test of full self-driving 12.5 ride with future Armor King. We tried all the biggest problem spots with 12.3.6, and 12.5 seemed to have fixed them all.
Alright guys, I'm here with my buddy Future Armor King from X, and we're going to go try some hard spots on FSD 12.5, really put it to the test. Let's see if we can trip it up.
And you can see this 1-hour long video of them trying to shake the system, but it just copes with everything they threw at it, including the things it did wrong in 12.3.6, and it seems to have fixed all of the previous problems. Jeff Lutz also wrote, full self-driving 12.5, I never driven 3 consecutive routes with 0 interventions, ever. Until now. Never touched the steering wheel, accelerator or brake in my first 3 routes. This is a meaningful different level of performance in my experience so far. So it really seems like this build is something different, and we also have Dirty Tester taking off from inside the garage and driving out on a dirt road, but full self-driving version 12.5 just didn't care and drove him flawlessly to his work. And a really good showcase of how Tesla systems are so different from all the rest, as it is a general solution that will work everywhere and can drive all the places we as a human can drive, which no one else can do. I know we are hearing a lot about full self-driving taxis and so on from China, but they still use the same kind of technology as Waymo does, geofenced LiDAR mapped areas, so they cannot really scale up fast either. It is too complex. So that is also why the company like Baidu is open to make partnership with Tesla, as they have said before. They would of course not do that if Baidu had the technology they needed themselves, so this clearly shows us that they don't have the technology and need to license Tesla's software to make a general solution for robotaxis in China. And as we learned, Tesla will request regulatory approval for full self-driving supervised version 12.5 or version 12.6 in Europe and China and other countries. And Tesla China even made a little video saying robotaxis coming soon. So this will also give Tesla access to even more data. And speaking of data, AJ on X also shared this chart of Tesla's full self-driving mileage that more than tripled in Q2 compared to Q1, thanks to the free trial Tesla offered. So about 40% of Tesla's full self-driving miles ever driven were done in Q2 2024. please try to let that one sink in. So Tesla's version 12.5 might be a big step change, but so much more to come in version 12.6, as more and more Tesla is getting on the street and Tesla continues to give new orders a free trial of full self-driving. So the big jump in data collection by Tesla should only continue and probably even speed up. And Elon also said at the X Takeover event that the Cybertruck will get an over-the-air update during August and will get the full self-driving capabilities. Because, as both Elon and John from Silicon Valley Owners Club said, this was the biggest issue people had with the Cybertruck, because people have become so used to driving with full self-driving supervised that it feels like a hassle driving yourself all the way. And I can only agree to this, as even though we don't have the great full self-driving here in Europe because of regulators, but when I was driving home from my holiday, it is mostly highway driving and the car is doing most of the driving for me, and I can just sit and relax and keep an eye on the car. This makes it so much more relaxing to drive for 16 hours, and I will personally never buy a car again that cannot do that. So when you have tried full self-driving version 12 in the US, I can only imagine how bad it must feel for you people in the US driving a Cybertruck without full self-driving. So I'm not surprised that this is the most asked for feature for the Cybertruck, and it is coming within a month or so. So I think it is looking very promising for full self-driving, and this is one of the most important things for Tesla, as Elon also said at the Tesla Takeover event. All Tesla vehicles can operate or will be able to operate as robotaxis, but I think the dedicated robotaxis will have the single biggest effect in the world. Yes, and as he also said, many will probably not even understand this when they reveal the Cybercab on 1010, just how profound this moment in time is. But looking back 10 years from now, it will seem obvious that this was one of the most profound events in Tesla's history. And I think that people are also forgetting how important the robotaxi is for every corner of the world, as I still see people saying that it is too expensive software for people in Africa, they can't afford it, and things like that. But I really don't think these people understand that we will suddenly get transport as a service. As Tony Saber has talked about so many times, it will literally become the cheapest transportation has ever been. So in fact, it will mean that everyone on the planet can get access to a car when they need one, as we are talking about 20 cents per mile. Not buying very expensive software from Tesla, but just when you need a car available, you can get one for less than a bus ticket. And because Tesla is working on a general solution, people in Africa and India and other places will also be able to benefit from this, as Tesla's robotaxis will be able to drive on any road on the planet and off-road on the planet. So even for people living in very remote areas in Africa and India, the robotaxi will be able to drive there. I know not everyone believes this. Some don't even believe we will have full self-driving cars, but we are seeing AI rising fast at the moment, and I have no doubt that it will become more intelligent than us. So if we can drive a car with only 2 eyes and a very distractive brain, of course an AI brain can too, as it can react much faster than we will ever be able to do. We have to remember, for an AI brain, the world is basically moving in slow motion. And it does not have only 2 eyes, but 8 eyes, and can see all around the car at all time and never get distracted. Of course we will have AI driving our cars, and even better than we would ever be able to learn. And we are seeing Tesla software showing off some intelligence, as we have also seen before that it is ignoring the navigation when it sees a better route. Really impressive behavior. But this will of course not only give affordable transportation to the world, but also give hours back to everyone. As Elon said at the interview, the car will suddenly become a mobile lounge. It's a completely different experience. So everyone is going to want this technology when they have solved it 100%, rich or poor. So for me, it will only be a question of when. Even Piper Sandler is telling investors to buy Tesla shares now, as it believes the company may have solved the full self-driving puzzle. And as they wrote, don't roll your eyes. Buy Tesla. We have heard for years that Tesla will solve full self-driving by the end of the year, but they are convinced this time it might be different. Yes, version 12 is definitely something different, and I believe they have solved it as well with the right architecture. Now it's only a matter of time before the neural network can drive better than we can. It can't yet, but we are getting very close. So it really seems like even institutional investors are starting to get it. And version 12.5 have turned some of the non-believers into believers. So when even some of Wall Street is starting to believe, we must be getting close. And Elon also just said that version 12.5.1 is already coming out. So the improvement just keeps coming very fast, as he also wrote on X, and it will improve significantly from here. And as Tesla is the only one working on a general solution and has invested billions of dollars into AI and training centers and compute powers and have more than 6 million cars on the road collecting data in shadow mode as well, I have no doubt that Tesla will be the one that solves it. Again, only a question of when, but that question is not as important because the value it will create for Tesla and its shareholders will be huge. It doesn't really matter if it is 2025 or 2027. No matter when it comes out, it will be the single most value creation made in human history. But with all we are seeing now, with version 12.5 and Tesla's data collection and compute power increase, I think we are getting really close. And agree with Elon, maybe by the end of the year there is a slim chance, but in 2025 for sure. But of course Elon and I have been wrong on this in the past, but everything just point at acceleration in data collection and full self-driving miles driven and faster updates for full self-driving. So give it another 12 months and it should be on a completely other level as it is today. But time will tell. But what do you think? Do you think we're getting close and will we have it done by some time in 2025? Or are we further out in the future than that? Let me know your guesses down below. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.